Okay, it looks like it's recording.
Okay, excellent. All right, I will now call to order the meeting of the Improvement and Services Committee for September 10th, 2025. We'll start with roll call. Alder Eck.
Here.
I am here. Alder Presley. Alder DeLee.
Here.
And Alder Ritterbusch.
Here.
All right, on to approval of the agenda. Do we have a motion?
Move to approve.
Motion to approve made by Alder DeLee.
Second.
Seconded by Alder Ritterbusch. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, and that carries. On to approval of the minutes.
Motion to approve the minutes.
Motion to approve the minutes made by
Second.
Alder Ritterbusch, seconded by Alder DeLee. Alder Eck, did you have something?
I was just giving a hard time because you read the whole thing last time, so.
Oh.
The August 13th meeting, so. Anyway, sorry.
Okay, any other discussion?
No.
All right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, and that is approved. On to regular business. First, consideration with possible action on request by Department of Public Works to accept a grant from the Fund for Lake Michigan, FFLM, in the amount of $150,000 for the implementation of East River Emily Park Wetland Restoration for Flood Resiliency Project. I like when it's accepting a grant.
Right.
Yes.
So this is the, it's a wetland restoration project that is currently under design. We're looking to move into the next phases of design and then ultimately construction. And this grant is a 3-year grant that would cover some of the both design and construction costs. I believe we took a grant a few weeks ago, or we brought through the design phase of the project a few weeks ago, so you might remember that, where that was approved. And this would go towards some of that and then ultimately construction.
All right, any questions on that?
Motion to approve.
Motion to
Second.
approve made by Alder Eck, seconded by Alder DeLee. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, and that carries. All right, 2, consideration with possible action on request by Department of Public Works to renew the annual cooperative recycling agreement with Brown County for 2026.
Okay, so this is a recycling agreement that we have with Brown County, and we are, as a city, a responsible unit, and so we have certain requirements under the state regulations. And so we partner with Brown County, like many other communities, and they take care of some of the outreach requirements. They have a couple of different tools for outreach. There's like a waste wizard that they have online. There's a Tri-County recycling guide. They do a lot of outreach to make sure people know what needs to be recycled. So this is a partnership, and it's just an annual grant that's been the partnership has been in place for 20 years, and so in order to continue that, we need to accept that grant.
All right, any discussion on that?
A grant or it's an agreement?
Agreement,
Yes.
yes.
Just renewing the agreement.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion to approve made by Alder Eck, seconded by Alder DeLee. I'll just say you mentioned the waste wizard. I love the waste wizard.
Okay,
I
great.
learned about it.
I'm glad you know about it.
I learned about it when I started on the Sustainability Commission, and
Okay.
it's wonderful. You can find out what to do with different types of trash. It's very exciting for people who care about trash. All right, anyway, we have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, that is approved. Third, consideration with possible action on request by Department of Public Works to approve the award of contract WSG 3-25 sand bunker paving to Peters Concrete Company in the amount of $137,250.90.
Okay, so this project is we're going to be repaving an area where we have our sand and salt storage, and there was an inspection, I believe, by the state. The salt storage area, the pavement needs to be in good condition because they don't want the salt seeping into the ground and running off. And then the pavement is in pretty bad shape. So this would be reconstructing and resurfacing that area. And we would be using ARPA funds for that. $102,000 of that would be ARPA funds, and then the remaining balance would come from our capital fund balance to complete that work.
Any discussion? Alder Eck?
So that extra amount is in the budget? Was already budgeted for, or?
I believe we were able to find the money within the budget. It wasn't a planned purchase, But we were able to come up with that amount within the capital budget.
Okay, thank you.
I'm just wondering, how does Peters Concrete get the award? Was this job like bid to other contractors?
Yeah, so it was a construction bid that was posted on Quest Online, and we had 2 bids received. And Peters Concrete was the low bid at $137,250.90. We had one other bid at $144,776. Thank you.
Did something about this go through this committee before? I vaguely remember it. Did we have to like approve the?
There are multiple,
Construction site.
there are multiple projects that have similar titles.
Oh, okay.
Because there's a lot, there's like a
Like these
salt
say
storage
salt.
shed.
Yeah.
There's another bunker project that was
Okay.
bid and we didn't have enough money for. So there's a lot of related projects. I don't know that this one came through before for the paving.
No, I think
Yeah.
you may be recalling when we were talking about a roof
Reconstructing.
The
structure
roof, yeah.
over the sand bunker.
Oh,
which we're
that's
still
it.
working toward.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. That is what I was confusing with. Okay.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve
Second.
made by Alder Eck, seconded by Alder Delis. All in favor, say aye.
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 All right, that is approved. For consideration with possible action on request by Department of Public Works to approve the award of contract Park 725 Triangle Hill Sports Area snowmaking improvements to Advanced Construction Incorporated in the amount of $461,956.00.
Okay, so I think Dan will speak on this one.
Yeah, so we put this project out to bid. We only had one bidder. The price came in at roughly $462,000. As a staff, we're recommending approval of the award, but I just want to add some kind of background to this, just so you know the big picture here. So we bid this project out last spring as a whole. So it's all the utilities. So it's water, sanitary, because we have a drain that we're putting in the storage facility, electric, and then a garage where we would store the equipment. We put it out to bid. That bid came in at about $526,000 last spring. We didn't have the funding in hand to do it, so we had to throw out the bids and restructure the bids, trying to find a cheaper way to do it. Again, we only had one bid the last go around also. So what we did is we pulled the building out of the mix and rebid it with just the underground utilities. So it's the sanitary, the water, and the electric. And then what we'll do is we have the existing storage facility for the tubes. We're able to store the cannons in there, but not the groomer. So what this does is it's everything with the exception of the building big enough to store the grooming tractor. So that will have to haul in and out or just leave it out on site in the winter months out in the open. We'll protect it, but there is still a desire to do that storage building in the future. So we'll look at cost-effective ways to do the building in the future. Maybe look at alternate approaches. Maybe our own city staff can build it. We're not sure yet how we're going to handle the building, but I just wanted to make that clear that this is everything with the exception of the building. The other thing is the funding. So we only bonded $350,000 for this, and this is obviously a little bit higher. There is still a little bit of leftover ARPA money, about $6,000 or $7,000 left over from buying the snowmaking equipment. So we'll apply that towards this. And then the rest of the money is just coming from other projects that we have already completed, and we had a little extra bond money left over after those projects were done. So we have enough money to award this. We'll figure out how we're going to do the storage garage in the future, but the storage garage is not part of this.
Alder Delis?
With sanitary being part of this project, is that for the future planning of that storage garage then?
Correct, and it's also going to provide a drain right now in that building where we have the cannons. Because the reason that it's there is, this equipment gets covered with snow when you make it, obviously, and then you put it in these heated storage facilities and it all melts and the water has to go somewhere.
So will we be stubbing out that sewer then sanitary at where that new location of that building will be then, or it'll just be
So in the future, when we build that building, we're gonna tear down that
Okay.
storage facility that's there, the tube storage
And
facility.
rebuild
We're
that
gonna build a
structure.
garage in the exact same location.
Okay.
So there'll be really very little utility work when we put the garage in.
Alderek?
Thank you, Chair. And just, because we've talked about this at our, I know we've had this discussion at our Parks Committee meetings, and I just want to confirm, if I remember correctly, these aren't necessarily going to be done for this year. Or
If we
will they?
award this contract, the utilities will be done by, I think, end of November.
Oh, good, all right.
Yep, and so we'll be able to make snow starting early December if we award this contract. If we don't award the contract, then we'll do a temporary water hookup just like we did last year. So we'll run kind of above ground pipes, get a generator to run the snow cannons. That's what we did last year. We can do it again, but it's kind of up to you if you want to award the contract or not.
Yeah, and I like the idea of having the groomer there. You know how I feel about having to take it in and out. But I'm going to make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion made by Alder Eck, seconded by Alder DeLee. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right. That is approved. Number 5, consideration with possible action on request by Department of Public Works to approve the award of contract GBMFD 325, Station Number 3, Kitchen Hood to Herkman Mechanical Industries Incorporated in the amount of $120,820.
So this is for a new exhaust hood for the kitchen in fire station number 3. It was an unplanned expense. It was due to sanitary sewer backup. However, it looks like that they were able to find the capital funds within the budget to do that work. So we're asking for approval to award to the lowest responsible bidder. And there was only one bid for that at $120,820.
I'll make a motion to approve.
All right, motion made by Alder Ritterbusch. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Alder DeLee. Any discussion on this? All right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And that is approved. 6, consideration with possible action on the request by Department of Public Works to approve award of contract Cherry Street Ramp South Elevator HVAC to Engabos Heating and Cooling in the amount of $56,700.00.
Okay, so this is for a new HVAC for the elevators, and this is at the Cherry Street South ramp. Did we just have the one bid, Chris, on this? Or?
Unfortunately, yes.
Okay.
But we have a brand new elevator replaced finally at the south elevator, and this is the last piece of that whole project to replace that elevator. Obviously, you gotta have moisture and heat control to protect the sensitive equipment for the elevator.
So you're saying denying this now would be a bad idea?
And yeah, probably not the best.
To have it all in pieces, it should just be all one.
Yeah. And it's covered under the parking capital fund.
Right.
I guess that's to award the contract, so. Sorry, I'm just adding things. Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion to approve.
Quick question.
Yeah, Alder Johnson.
Chris, is the elevator operational now?
The elevator is operational. We had some problems. There were warranty issues with
Okay.
the contractor didn't finish water sealing and water got in and it burned out some brand new electronic equipment, which made the new elevator go down. And then they had issues getting repair parts. So it was down. We were not happy.
Well, because I knew
After
that,
the elevator being out for so long.
right,
And then we replaced it and then
and then it was shut down again.
Yeah.
Okay, because somebody told me it was shut down again. I'm like, no, they replaced it. So,
yeah, and it's on, it was on a contractor, it wasn't, yeah.
okay, good to know. Thank you.
Okay, we had a motion by Alder Eck. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Alder DeLee. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And that is approved. 7, consideration with possible action on request by Department of Public Works to approve the award of contract Bridge 425 Dan's Avenue Bridge B558 rehabilitation to Zenith Tech Incorporated in the amount of $207,740.58. Director.
You want to touch on this, or you want me to?
You can.
Okay. So this is for the rehabilitation of the Dan's Avenue Bridge, and it's for addressing the cracking and spalling on the surface. And they will also include the replacement of the approach slabs, and so it'll improve driving conditions, but also extend the life of the bridge. And there were 2 bids received. Zenith Tech bid at $207,740.58, and Lunda Construction was $225,288.85. And so the low bid was Zenith Tech, which we would recommend award to, and there was $160,000 budgeted for this in the capital budget, but we are recommending going ahead with the project using a remaining fund balance within the capital budget.
Any discussion?
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve made by Alder Eck.
Second.
Second by Alder Ritterbusch. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, that is approved. 8, consideration with possible action on request by Department of Public Works to approve the award of contract Park 625 East River Meyer Dog Park Fence to Mauer Fence Company in the amount of $52,656.00.
So this is for a dog park fence at East River Meyer Park, and there were 3 bids received. The low bid was Mauer Fence Company, and the other bidders were Patriot Fence and Century Fence Company. Let's see what else here.
Yeah, sometimes it can be a big difference.
So that's what I have for information on that one. Do you have anything to add on that, Jim?
No, that's really about it, is, I think it's base bid that we're awarding to in this one.
Base bid plus alternative 2.
Yep.
Since Dan left, I think you guys should deny it just to mess with them.
No.
I like doing things arbitrarily.
Well, older Prophet is on, so this is her area, right?
Motion
She
to
was
approve.
off.
Second.
Unless Alder Prophet wants to weigh in, we have a
I think
motion
if we
to
said
approve.
no, then she might say something.
Oh, I
but-
see.
She probably would.
Motion made by Alder DeLee, seconded by Alder Ritterbusch. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, that is approved. 9, report of actions taken by the Department of Public Works. A, granting of licenses, sidewalk builder, a Chef Check Concrete. B, Neighborhood Concrete LLC, and C, Douglas J. Maurer Concrete LLC.
Motion to receive and place on file.
Second. Motion made by Alder Eck to receive and place on file, seconded by Alder DeLee. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, that is received and placed on file. 10, consideration with possible action on request by Department of Public Works to approve temporary limited easements, TLE, for the rights-of-way for pavement 325 Manitowoc Road Sidewalk Project from Main Street to Hemlock Drive.
I can take this one. This is for the remainder, you remember, I think it's 2 meetings ago, we approved 6 of the parcels that are out there. There's 12 parcels that we need TLEs in a fee from. So this is mainly the sidewalk project that's going on Manitowoc Road from Main Street to Hemlock and then up Hemlock towards Wilder School. So this would be for purchasing small pieces of property so that we can go on there to construct a project. At the end of the project, our right for that piece of project goes away, or piece of property goes away. The dollar values are given in the table that was included. You can see the ones in yellow are the ones that we approved last time. So this is all pretty much procedural. So DPW does recommend approval.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion to approve made by Alder Eck, seconded by Alder DeLee. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. That is approved. 11, consideration with possible action on request by Shipyard District Incorporated to place benches and trash receptors in the right-of-way along South Broadway and to enter into a revocable occupancy permit with the city of Green Bay.
Yeah, So we received a request from the Shipyard District for the placement of some benches and trash receptors, and the Department of Public Works reviewed that request, and we find it acceptable. So we've drafted a revocable occupancy permit, and we would actually be the ones installing the benches and trash receptacles, and we would provide the trash collection. And we recommend approval of that and approval to enter into an agreement with them.
Any questions on this? Yes, Alder.
I just want to clarify that, so they're paying for the benches and the,
Yes, but then
Okay.
we would, we would do the trash collection. And remind me if there's maintenance issues.
If there's maintenance issues, say they need to be repainted or whatever,
Yeah.
that's on the district.
Okay.
Alder Johnson, you had something?
Yeah, so not necessarily about this in particular, obviously I support this. It's the ARPA funds that you guys may recall that we allocated for this, that I believe are funding it. So obviously,
oh, okay.
cities
yes.
investing makes sense. But we had this discussion previously, specifically around signs, and Valerie, this was before you were director, but there was maybe some inconsistency with when things were brought to committee regarding the issuance of a revocable occupancy permit. And one of the things we had briefly talked about was whether or not stuff like this needs to come to committee.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you guys have talked about that internally. I appreciate that it's here,
Yeah.
but just wanted to at least ping you on that to say, hey, like, I'm comfortable giving staff authority to make this decision in most circumstances. So-
Right. You have a good point. We also talked about that same thing. We had some discussion on it. And I feel like we have the authority to approve entering into the
Mhm.
agreement. The one thing we just did want to, because we're expending money to do the trash collection.
Yep.
So we are kind of using resources, so we thought it would still be good to go through for that purpose.
Yeah, and I know that that's been the case, and somebody from their board reached out to me, and I did instruct them that that's been the practice in the past.
Yeah,
But obviously, when it comes to the permit itself,
you're right.
I just
Yeah.
didn't know if we need to do anything as a body to kind of codify that, right? So that you don't have to keep coming to us with those approvals, because it just slows things down, right? But if it's something like a sign or putting in a trash can, that can be made easily at the staff level and expedited.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm open to feedback on that too, and I would be comfortable with just us approving those things, but, I would be open to feedback too if.
It might just be a matter of defining
Yeah.
which things, right?
Right.
So maybe would it help to have a separate communication on that, do you think?
I think we could put together maybe a policy on that
Mhm.
internally and
Yep.
bring that
Perfect,
at
okay.
some point, just so it's clear on what we're doing.
I just didn't want to miss the opportunity to
Yeah,
make this easier for you.
yeah, we had some of that same discussion on our end.
Great.
Alder.
Thank you, Chair. And I do remember that we approved this through ARPA, but that's not really mentioned here, so it doesn't make it, in my opinion, and it was really before the three alders were here, so to know so they're not actually technically paying for the ARPA funds are.
Well, they are, because the ARPA is going to their organization,
But it was specifically listed for these items.
but there were qualifying things that the ARPA funds could purchase. Now, I believe they also were doing some fundraising and bringing some private funds to maybe complement what the ARPA was supporting. But the ARPA actually went to them, but it's like any grant agreement where it stipulates which things qualify for use with that funding
Yeah,
source.
I just remember the benches and trash receptors being on there, so maybe more to it, but I just, maybe, it might have been, I think it would be more clear if it was added in there that that was part of it, but,
Yeah.
and I get what you're saying, because we already we really approved the ARPA funds for it, so now it's coming back to
Yeah.
us for them to now do it, which it took a while.
Yeah, so that communication, when I had submitted it to authorize the 25,000 of ARPA funds,
Mhm.
was for streetscape enhancements within the district, but we were deferring to the organization to determine what they wanted to prioritize.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
A motion to approve made by Alder Ritterbusch, seconded by Alder DeLee. Any further discussion? All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, all right, and that is approved. Everything we approve here goes on to the full council next week, 16th of September, for a final vote. On to informational. First, report the expenditures for emergency storm sewer repairs at the East River and Webster Avenue.
Yeah, so this would be one that we don't normally bring to council. We have emergency services contracts for when we need to do sewer repairs that cannot wait, that they need to be done right away. And we have that budget in the CIP. So we have 2 contracts set up for that. In this case, we brought it forward to report out because of the dollar value. In total, it came out to $94,904, which is, it's over $50,000. But the reason why it was so expensive is because anytime we're doing anything in the river, we have to get a permit, and part of what we need to do is put a cofferdam in to keep the water from coming back in. And when we're working in the river, there's, certain DNR requirements for that. So that adds up quite quickly. The cofferdam itself, it was $33,500. So pretty expensive. And then the work itself was adjacent to a building. The river levels were above where the storm sewer is at, so the entire project was quite complicated to do. They needed to dewater, so there was just a lot of work involved in this small little repair. And unfortunately, that's how much it cost us to do.
Does this get us closer to budget now? Are we running up against?
We're usually doing pretty good on the budget. We have about $400,000 in the storm sewer capital fund for emergency repairs, and we're usually running lower than that because most of the repairs are, in the $10,000 to $20,000 range. So we're usually within that budget, and we're in good shape there.
Okay.
Motion to receive and place on file.
Second.
Motion made to receive and place on file by Alder Eck, seconded by Alder DeLee. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. That is received and placed on file. Next, the director's report on recent activities of the Public Works Department. What's going on?
Okay, so I just wanted to provide an update on some of our sanitation operations. We talked about the brush collection and some of the communication there, so we created some wrap cards, which are the small brochures that we have up front, and did some social media on that to promote our brush collection, which is ongoing right now. At the same time, we're gearing up for bulk waste collection, which is going to be September 22nd through the 26th. And then our fall leaf collection will begin on October 13th. So those are some of the things that we wanted to let you all know. And then within the director's report that's included in the agenda packet, I provided an update on the various street resurfacing and reconstruction projects and where they're at with design and bidding and construction.
I have a question.
Alder Ritter.
Who determines the time that you fix the roads? I've been getting calls from people in the Lombardi Neighborhood Association, and they're like, why are they fixing the roads during Packer season?
Oh,
Because of
The parking and, in front of their
Right.
house and the dust. And
yeah.
so I didn't have an answer. I said, I just know
I
the
can
city has a
answer that
schedule.
Because I've taken a couple of those calls myself, and one of the things people need to remember is we had this thing in April called the draft. So this year was an anomaly, because that set us behind quite a while. I mean, we weren't able to start on road work over there until about the end of May. So that does put us behind the 8 ball a little bit that way schedule-wise. Other than that, I mean, it's just normal scheduling.
I figured that they're like, why aren't they doing it on the east side?
I mean, because we do have, when there are events at the stadium, there are restrictions on what can and can't be done, roadways that can and can't be opened, things like that are closed for construction purposes. So, I mean, it's just an anomaly with what happened this year with the draft. I think it's the biggest reason.
But yeah, I got a couple calls last week.
It's amazing how quickly people forget about that already.
I know.
Why aren't they working on the
Especially your
east side?
area.
I'm like, I'm sure they are working on the east side also.
Yeah.
Why are people calling you about the east side?
No, they're complaining. I
They're
said,
saying they should be
They
over-
should be
Oh,
on the
I
east
see.
side.
Oh, okay.
They should be over in your area.
All right. Any
Thank
further
you for that.
discussion, questions?
I just will make a comment.
Yes, Alderman.
Thank you, Chair. I just, I have said it before, but I really appreciate you giving us this recap of all the resurfacing and things like that, because we really get asked a lot of questions, so
Mhm.
this is so helpful. I appreciate it.
Sure, thank you.
So I'm going to make a motion to receive and place on file.
Second.
Motion made by Alder Eck to receive and place on file, seconded by Alder Delis. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, received and placed on file. Next meeting is September 24th, 2025 of this committee. Looking for,
Motion to adjourn.
Oh, second.
you got in there first. Alder Delis makes the motion to adjourn, seconded by Alder Eck. All in favor, say aye.
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 See, I said aye.
And we are adjourned. Thank you.